Chicago, 1924. A city racing toward the future, jazz in the air, engines roaring, lights blazing. But beneath the glitter, a crime is about to shatter the illusion of safety. At the prestigious University of Chicago, brilliance walks these quiet courtyards, young men destined for greatness, or so everyone believes. Two of them stand apart, one obsessed with intellect, the other intoxicated by privilege. Together, they begin imagining something terrifying. Late at night, philosophy becomes something darker. Ideas about superiority, power, and the dangerous fantasy that some minds are above morality. In a luxurious apartment, arrogance grows comfortable. For Richard Loeb, crime isn't horror, it's a challenge. Across a dim table, theory becomes blueprint. Two brilliant students begin planning what they believe will be the perfect crime. A handshake seals it. No rage, no desperation, just cold intellectual curiosity. Meanwhile, somewhere in the city, 14-year-old Robert Franks walks home unaware that he has already been chosen. The killers rehearse like engineers, every motion practiced, every detail calculated, murder treated like a science experiment. Tools laid out carefully, rope, gloves, chloroform, and a pair of spectacles that will destroy everything. May 21st, 1924. A sudden struggle, a cry swallowed by the evening air. The perfect crime begins. Inside a speeding car, panic fades into an eerie silence. The plan is working, too perfectly. At a lonely pond under the moon, two young men carry their secret to the water's edge and leave behind something far worse than a body. Hours later, dawn reveals the unimaginable. A boy lies motionless beside the reeds. Chicago's nightmare has begun. The crowd gathers in shock. Parents clutch their children tighter. How could something so cruel happen here? Detectives arrive. Boots sink into mud. Every inch of ground becomes evidence. Then, something small, almost invisible. A pair of spectacles glinting in the dirt. At a quiet optician's shop, investigators trace the unusual frames. The answer appears in a ledger, a single name. When the knock comes, Nathan Leopold already knows something is wrong. Brilliance suddenly feels fragile. Across the city, police move in. Doors crash open. The perfect crime is collapsing. Handcuffed and silent, the two prodigies descend the courthouse stairs. Genius, now under arrest. In the interrogation room, the evidence spreads across the table. The glasses, the timeline, the truth tightening like a noose. Then comes the confession. Not emotional, not desperate, just disturbingly calm. Newspapers explode with headlines. The city devours every detail. Outside the courthouse, crowds gather like spectators at a spectacle. Everyone wants answers. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere feels electric. This trial will test more than guilt. Into the storm steps a legendary defense attorney, Clarence Darrow. The prosecution lays out the chilling plan. Maps, timelines, evidence. A crime engineered by intellect. Side by side, the accused sit quietly, young, composed, and responsible for something monstrous. Above them, reporters record every breath, every glance. America is watching. Then Darrow rises, his voice steady, his argument radical. Hour after hour, he speaks, not defending the crime, but questioning the meaning of justice itself. He warns the court, execute them, and the cycle of violence continues. Across the room, grief collides with philosophy. Parents mourn, defendants remain unreadable. Finally, the verdict. Life in prison plus 99 years. The gallows are spared. The prison train departs at dusk. Two young men vanish into a life behind bars. Inside the cell, time stretches endlessly. Books replace ambition. Regret grows slowly. But prison carries its own dangers. In 1936, violence erupts. Chaos spreads through the corridors. One of the conspirators will never leave alive. Years pass. The surviving prisoner buries himself in study and science. Then, one morning in 1958, the gates finally open. In Puerto Rico, he built a quiet new life, helping patients, studying birds, trying to outrun the past. But history refuses to forget. The story becomes legend, caution, warning. In museums, the infamous spectacles remain, a tiny object that shattered a perfect plan. The courtroom now stands empty, yet echoes of the trial still linger in its walls. Modern Chicago rises above the past, but beneath its towers, history still whispers. Because the real crime wasn't just murder, it was the belief that intelligence could erase morality. And in the end, the perfect crime failed, because human arrogance always leaves a trace.
If this story shocked you, subscribe because history has many more secrets to reveal.